good evening. This is Kim Na-eun, right?
Yeah, you can call me Emily.
Yes. Emily. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Emily. That's a lot easier to pronounce. Okay, well, how was your day, Emily?
I'm doing great.
Oh, sorry, say that one more time.
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. Oh, good. That's really nice to hear. I saw your request in here, and it says that you are in Jamaica. Is it
Yes, I
true?
am.
Oh, you are in Jamaica right now.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the weather in there?
Uh, it's always summer.
It's always summer, right? But is it very, very hot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like in my country, then. Okay. Are you enjoying your day in Jamaica so far?
Mm, yes, I am.
Are you good? Good to hear that. All right. Well, I would love to ask you more about that, but I guess you might want to use your book. Do you want to use your book or do you want to have free talking instead?
I want to use my book.
You want to use your book. Is this it?
Uh,
Rehab Science 3?
yes.
Ah, do you remember which page you are in?
We need to start the page 38.
30. Okay. Then let me just pull that one here. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Just a moment. Okay, the tundra. You are done with this. All right. Okay. So, well, we are going to talk about the opposite of the weather in your place right now. It's summer over there, right? As you have mentioned, but we're going to talk about somewhere really, really cold, right?
okay.
In the tundras. Okay, but as you have mentioned, you are in page 38, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So kindly read this one.
Most animals in the tundra are migratory. This means that they move
Migratory.
migratory. This means that they move from place to place and do not stay long in the tundra. There are birds who visit the tundra when some of the ice melts and when most species breed. The caribou also feed on the grasses that grow in the tundra during warmer season. Soon, these animals leave the tundra to find warmer places and food. Some animals that live in the Arctic tundra all year round are the musks, oxen.
Okay.
The musk oxen have two layers of fur that keep them warm. Grizzly bears can also be found here, but unlike oxen, oxen here, uh, unlike oxen, the bears hibernate at some times of the year.
Okay. Yeah. So the grizzly bears usually hibernate during the coldest times of the year, during winter. Okay, so we have some animals mentioned in our story. Okay, do you remember the names of those animals?
Mm, a polar bear.
Polar bear. Okay. not really a polar bear, but a grizzly bear. Okay,
Okay.
because well, the tundra is not really the North Pole. It's just a little bit below that. Okay, so
Okay.
we still have some animals there, like the grizzly and the musk oxen. They are very big and furry
Mm.
animals. And we also have some kinds of birds, the caribou, and fishes. Okay. Why do you think it is hard to live in the tundra?
Because tundra is too cold, so
Mm-hmm.
there is not many plants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. So there are, yeah, there are not many plants in there. And since there are no plants or not many plants, animals don't have anything to eat, right?
Yes.
Mm, okay, very good. And what do polar bears and musk oxen that live in the tundra have in common? What do they have in common?
They are bare
Uh-huh. The
and
the bears, yeah.
they they are living they are living cold places.
Right. So they both live in cold places. All right. How do they endure? How can they endure the cold weather in this place? What do they have that helps them endure the cold weather? Mm-hmm.
Uh, pol- uh,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Okay. So they have thick furs,
uh,
right? They
yes,
have, yeah. So imagine if it's too cold, it would be nice to have a thick fur, right?
yeah.
So for the musk oxen, he even have 2 layers. Imagine that. That's a lot of very soft fur. Okay. So there we have it. I think those are the good things in common. What do you understand about migration and adaptation? Can you explain what you understand from migration and adaptation?
Mm, uh, adaptation means animal uses their parts of body their parts of body to
Mm-hmm.
to do something.
Okay.
Mm, and I can't understand the migration means.
Okay. It's in here. Okay. Migration means you go to another place to live there. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe for a while, or you live there for a longer time. Okay. So you migrate to another place to live there, and then you go again to another place and live there. That is migration. So for some animals, like some birds, right? They go to one place if it's too cold, then they go to another place when it becomes warmer.
Mm,
Okay? Some fishes are also migratory. like
Okay.
salmon. Yes. Salmon will migrate from the sea to the river every time that it needs to lay some eggs.
Mm.
So that is migration. Right. Adaptation is you're right. Some animals change their body in order to live. Yes,
Okay.
especially if the place is too dangerous.
Mm.
Like in the tundra, it's too cold, so some animals adapted and they had more hair, right?
Okay.
You know the human nose? They also say that our nose is an adaptation.
Mm.
Okay. All right, I will explain that some more later. Let us go to page 39. Okay, this one is pretty easy. We're just going to have a crossword game. All right. So number one, across.
Moses and legends do not need much.
Okay.
Much.
Moses and Lichen do not need much. What?
Much pride. I much
Sun.
warm.
Okay. Sunlight.
Uh, well,
Yes.
Moses and leeches do not need much sunlight, which is why they can live under the snow.
Yes. That is why you could see them sometimes inside the house. Sometimes. As long as it's cold, there is water, you could see some Moses. All right. Can you write that down? Okay. Do you want to write it? Okay. All right. Do you want to do it or should I?
I can't do it.
Okay, go ahead then. All right. Did you write it? Okay. Then number four. What? Okay. Can you read number four?
Okay. The soil in the tundra has a layer of ice called soil.
The soil in the tundra has a layer of ice called.
Oh, I can't remember it.
Right, me neither, because I did not study that with you last time. Okay, 30. Okay. Well, let us go first to number two. We will go back to number four later. Please read.
The 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 Arctic tundra is a flat, cold, and windy place.
Okay. So it is tundra. Okay. And number three down. Oh,
Migration
I think I know
animals move from one place to another, search for food.
Okay, so it's migratory. Okay, I think I know number four. It's called
Mm,
permafrost.
Ah,
right? Okay, permafrost, the thin layer of ice in tundra soil. Okay, that's why it's hard to grow. It's hard for plants to grow. Okay, well, we are done with the crossword puzzle, the quiz part. Emily, let's go to this one. Okay, another game. Put a check mark on, next to the plant or animal if it lives in a tundra, and put an X if it does not live in a tundra.
mm,
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so that's the puzzle there. Is that a kangaroo or what?
mm.
Probably a kangaroo. I don't know. Okay, yes. And we are done. All right. Well, let us proceed to the next part. Have you ever seen a lion? Okay, let's go to this. Okay, please read this part.
It is possible for people to live in the tundra. Why or why not?
Hmm.
What possible will people encounter when living in the tundra?
Yes, encounter. Okay. So, do you think it's possible for us to live in a place like that? A very, very cold place?
Hmm, I think it is very hard to live in the tundra.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very hard. But it's not impossible, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Okay. Well, what problems will people experience or encounter when we live in a tundra?
Hmm,
What are the things that we would encounter?
hmm,
Hmm.
hmm.
Okay. Well, it's probably hard to find food, right?
Yes.
Right. And maybe it's also hard to find, well, to find some things to keep you warm.
Yeah.
All right. So those are some hard things that we can have, we can experience in there. Okay, if you have a paper in there, a printed paper, you could do this part on your own. Okay, we can skip this part, or you could also discuss that with your real AHOP teacher. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have questions about tundras,
No, I don't
Emily?
have question.
All right. Then next chapter, we are going to study something about adaptation.
Hmm,
But adaptation of, uh, well, things living underwater. Okay.
okay.
All right. So we could see a lot of fishes in here. Okay, we have different kinds of water or
Mhm.
water environment, aquatic environment. Okay, we first read the story. Oh, I wonder if we could eat this fish. Okay, please read.
The water serves as a home for many animals and plants. Water environments come in many different forms. Some are big and wide, while some are small. Some water environments are made of salt water and some are made of fresh water. Saltwater environments are made up of salty water. Oceans, seas,
Mm-hmm.
bays, and gulfs are examples of saltwater environments.
Uh-huh.
Many plants and animals that live in these environments have adaptations that help them survive the high salt content of the water. Animals that
Mm-hmm.
can be found here include sharks and dolphins, as well as plants like seaweed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so all right, let's read everything and then we will discuss.
Freshwater environments have a very low or no salt, amount of salt. Some freshwater environments can continually flow like rivers and streams.
Mm-hmm.
Some can be still and calm like ponds and lakes. Most freshwater plants and animals cannot live in saltwater environments. Animals such as hip, hip, hippopotami,
Hippopotami, yeah.
hip, hippopotami and otters, as well as plants like water lilies, live in freshwater environments.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you have it. Those are different kinds of aquatic environments, or yeah, different kinds of water. Okay, so what are some of water environments?
Mm, the, the
Mm-hmm.
saltwater and freshwater.
Okay, yes, we have salt water and fresh water. So, what kinds of water bodies are fresh water environments?
Mm, fresh
Hmm.
lakes, streams,
Lakes, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
correct.
ponds.
Yeah, all right. Okay. And for rivers, I mean, for salt water, we have what kinds of water bodies?
Oceans, seas, bays, and gulfs.
Yes, all right. Sea, space, Gulf, right? Basically, the big water out there. All right. So, where you are right now, what is the nearest body of water that you have? Do you have a sea there, or do you have a river near, or a
Mm,
lake?
um, I think, just a sea,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
ocean, or sea in here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, because Jamaica is an island. I heard. Yeah. So, have you been to the beach of Jamaica?
Yes. Ooh, I
Uh-huh.
went to the beach. every Saturday.
Ah, really? Ah, good for you. Okay. Is it beautiful in there?
Mm, yes.
Okay. How far is it from your house?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Does it take hours for you to travel there?
Pardon?
Does it take you hours to go from your house to the sea
Oh,
to the beach?
I think it takes just 30 minutes.
Oh, it's not so far. Okay, that's good. Anyway, we go back to our article. Let's talk about animals again. So, what kinds of animals live in saltwater environments? Can you give an example?
Dolphins can live in the salt water.
Okay, yes. Oh, but actually, there's also a freshwater dolphin, apparently. Okay, but they are very, very rare and almost not like dolphins, really. Okay, but how about fresh water? What kinds of animals live in fresh water?
Mm, Dogs can live in the fresh water.
Okay, yes. All right. Well, I think we are done with this. Do you have questions before we proceed to the next page?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay. Well, if you do not have, then let's go. Oh, how about the hippopotamus? Have you ever seen that kind of animal? Oh, this is a mangrove. These are mangroves. Have you ever seen a place like this? Okay. So we talked about freshwater and saltwater, right? But
Yeah.
there is actually something that is a mixture of freshwater and saltwater. That is what we call a
Uh,
brackish.
British
Yes.
brackish
Okay.
environments are made of salt water and fresh water combined. Some examples of
Mm-hmm.
brackish environments are mangroves and marshes. Pelicans and mud crabs are some of the animals that live in brackish waters. Man- Mangrove trees also live in here.
Uh-huh. Okay. You remember the dolphin that I told you about that lives in fresh water? Okay. They could also live in brackish waters. Yes. There are freshwater dolphins. Okay. They are the pink
Ah,
dolphins. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So if you have seen a pink dolphin, that's actually not a sea dolphin. That is a freshwater dolphin. Amazing, right? All right. Well, these are mangroves. Yes, the mangrove trees. Okay. What are the differences among brackish, saltwater, and freshwater environments?
Mm, Salt water made of mm, some mm, brackish water made of salt water and fresh water combined.
Mm-hmm.
But fresh water and salt water just made. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. Just that, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So fresh water is made up of fresh water, right? salt
Yeah.
water is made from salty water. Okay. Very good. Yes, I understand. Okay. Let's read this. Number two. Can you please read the question?
Can freshwater animals live in salt water? Some
Mm.
animals can. Some animals who live in freshwater, they can live in salt water, but some animals can't
Mm.
live in the salt water.
There are some animals that could live both in both ones, but they usually die. For example, that was the one I mentioned to you, salmon. All right. So salmon comes from fresh water when they are little, and then they go to the sea, right?
Yeah.
But if they need to give birth or lay some eggs, they will go back to the fresh water,
Mm,
but they die. They cannot go back anymore. They die.
mm,
But the young ones go again to the the seawater, and then after they grow up and then they become pregnant, they will again go back to the fresh water and give birth and die. Like that. So they go back and forth, right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Number three, please read.
How are saltwater animals different from freshwater animals? Mm,
Mm.
Many big animals live in salt water, and
Mm-mm.
many small animals live in fresh water
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why do you think that big animals live in salt water and only small animals
because
live in fresh
ocean
water?
is bigger than lakes, stream,
All right.
or ponds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Right. That's true. They cannot really grow that big if they only have a very tiny house, right? Tiny
Yeah.
place to live. Okay. All right. I, oh, but what about the Loch Ness monster? Have you ever heard of that? The Loch Ness monster?
No, I'm not.
No. It's actually not yet real. I mean, it's a legend in uh, um, Scotland. It's a kind of big animal that lives in their lake. Okay, but nobody actually proved it yet. All right, let us go to the vocabulary check. Please read and answer the missing word. Okay?
Water serves as as a blank for many plants and animals. Water serves as environments for many plants and animals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what is the answer of number one again?
The answer is environment.
Environment. Okay. And number two?
What is the water environment is made up of salt water and fresh water.
Combination.
Mm, The answer is
Starts with
mm,
starts with B.
page. Mm,
Bra.
I can't remember yet.
Remember? Oh no, we just started that one. Okay. Brackish water.
Yeah.
Right? Brackish water. Oh my gosh, my handwriting is terrible. Okay. All right, brackish water. Number three.
What water environment has no amount of salt in water? The answer is fresh water.
Very good. Number four.
Seaweeds are an example of blank plants.
Uh-huh.
The answer is C.
Seaweed. Yes. Okay. Seawater plants or saltwater plants.
Yeah.
And number four, number five.
Mangrove, mangroves and marshes are examples of this kind of environment. The
Mm-hmm.
answer is blackish water.
Yes, that's right. Brackish water. And yep, I think we are done with that page. Let's proceed to the next part. Oh, I don't know if that's an alligator or a crocodile. All right. So we have some example of water bodies in here, but we have
Mhm.
to put F if it's a freshwater environment, S if it's a saltwater environment, or B if it's a brackish environment. All right. Number one, what is that?
The answer is S.
Okay, yes, of course.
Mm, ah,
Put an S in it. Okay, good.
Bang. The answer is B.
Yes. Hmm.
C. The answer is S.
Okay.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Mm-hmm. Stream. A very small river. Yes, a stream is a small river.
mm, Rush.
Okay.
Mm,
Marsh.
Bay.
Yes. All right. A marsh is actually not a very good place for people. Yeah, don't go there because you would see a lot of those things in there. And snakes and bugs and it's too wet. Yeah. So don't go to a marsh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, a marsh is it's a very wet place, but it's not so deep like a mangrove place.
Mm,
So there's still land, but it's very wet and muddy, and there are a lot of bugs and snakes and crocodiles. Okay. Well, we are done with that part. Let's go to the homework part. Let's answer right or wrong. All right? Okay. Please read the statement and just write R if it's correct and write W if it's wrong. Okay, number one.
A blackfish water environment is made up of both fresh water and salt water.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Brackish
Black.
water
Ah,
is made up of. Yeah, just put R or W so that we could do it fast.
ah. Hmm. Fresh water is an
Okay.
ocean.
Number two.
An example of a freshwater
Yes.
environment is an ocean.
Yes. It's salt water. Good. Next.
Ponds and lakes are example of saltwater environment.
Mm. Okay. It's fresh
Waters,
water. Right.
yes. Water
Number
serves
four.
as a home for many animals and plants.
Mm-hmm.
Oceans and seas are
Correct.
example of saltwater environment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay. All right.
Sharks and
And
dolphins. uh, Sharks and dolphins can be found in rivers and lakes.
okay. Next.
Freshwater environments have a very high amount of salt. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
An example of a blackfish water,
Oh,
blackish.
wait a moment. Okay, fresh water, but they have a high amount of salt.
Hi. Ah,
It's
for long.
right. Okay. Okay. It should be salt water because that's why it's called salt water, right? It has salt. Okay. Number eight.
An example of a blackish water environment is a mangrove.
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans and mud crabs live in saltwater environment. A marsh is an example of a freshwater environment.
Okay. Correct. I just want to clarify one thing. Okay. In number six, it
Six.
says here that sharks and dolphins can be found in rivers and lakes, right? You
Yeah,
said wrong. Well, most of the time we think sharks and dolphins only live at sea, but actually there are sharks and dolphins in fresh water. Okay, in rivers and lakes. As I have mentioned a while ago, we have the pink dolphin, right?
yeah.
There is also a river shark. Did you know that?
Um,
Yes, we also have freshwater sharks. Okay, I will show it to you. Okay. Something. I used to believe that only sea have sharks, but actually they have river sharks as well. I mean, yes, freshwater sharks, lake sharks, like this one, the first one. Okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they are usually smaller, not as big as the sea sharks, but there are. Okay, maybe tiny ones. We have Wikipedia here. Okay. Oh, we do not have a picture. I wanted to show you a picture, but okay. Anyway, so that's why this is not wrong. It's actually right, but also wrong because it could live anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they could live anywhere. All right. Well, we are done with that. Let me just get back to the book. Okay, so that is lesson number one. Let us read this part. We have enough time to read one page, I think. Okay, let's talk about the ocean, the biggest form of water on Earth. All right, let us read.
Oh, the Earth is mostly blue when seen from out of place. Why? Because of the oceans. Much of the Earth's surface is covered with oceans. An ocean is the largest and deepest body of water. It is made of salt water and it is home to many plants and animals. It has the largest and most abundant marine life amongst all the bodies of water.
Mm-hmm.
There
Okay,
are five oceans on the earth: the Pacific Ocean,
Pacific Ocean,
Atlantic Ocean,
mm-hmm.
Arctic Ocean, Indian
Arctic,
Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Southern Ocean.
all right, okay. So, what is an ocean, Emily?
Ocean is the largest and deepest body of the water.
Okay, right. So how many oceans do we have on Earth?
We have five oceans:
Okay. So can you give me their names?
Pacific, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean,
Uh-huh.
Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Southern Ocean.
Right. So the nearest one for you, well, in your country is the Pacific Ocean, right? That is the nearest. But now that you're in Jamaica, you are nearest which ocean?
I don't know.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Mm.
Right. Okay. So why do we see the Earth as blue from outer space? Why do we see Earth as blue from
Because
outer space?
of the oceans.
Mm-mm. Okay. Yes. It's because well of the water, right?
Yeah,
Mm-mm. Okay. What is more on Earth, water or land?
water.
Water. Yes. It's two-thirds. Only one-third of the world is land, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one has the largest amount of life on Earth? Land or the ocean?
Mm. Land.
Okay. You think it's land? Okay, maybe, but actually, I think there might be more life at, in water
Uh,
environment.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because we have two-thirds of water.
Mm.
All right. Oh, the Mariana Trench. It's here in the Philippines. The deepest part of the world. It's in my country's territory. Okay, please read.
The Pacific Ocean is the biggest ocean. It is bigger than all combined lands on Earth. It is also
Mhm.
deepest ocean with the deepest trenches. A trench is a deep
Mhm.
and narrow hole or depression on the seafloor. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. There are many icebergs in north of the
Mhm.
Arctic Ocean. An iceberg is a big mountain of ice floating in water.
Mhm.
The Arctic Ocean is the smallest and sh- shallowest ocean. It is partly
Mhm.
covered in Arctic, Arctic ice and icebergs. Many polar bears
Mhm.
live and hunt in the Arctic Circle where the Arctic Ocean is.
Okay, the Arctic Circle. All right. So
Yeah,
that is where the polar bears are. All right. Well, what is the biggest ocean among the five oceans?
the biggest ocean is Pacific Ocean.
Yes, the Pacific Ocean. It's it's near our country. Okay. Uh, what is the deepest point of the Pacific Ocean?
Deepest.
What's the deepest point of the Pacific Ocean?
Um,
It's called the
it's called
Marianas.
uh, Mariana Trench.
Yes, okay. Which one is bigger, the Pacific Ocean or the lands of Earth?
Pardon.
Which one is bigger, all the lands on Earth or the Pacific Ocean?
Mm, the Pacific Ocean.
Yes, so it's bigger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What is a trench?
A trench is deep and narrow hole or depression on the sea floor.
Okay, so it's like very, very deep floor. Nobody is actually able to reach that yet. Okay. Which one is the second largest ocean in the world?
The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world.
Okay. Atlantic. One more time.
Atlantic.
Yes. Okay. Atlantic Ocean is the second largest. Where is it? Where is the Atlantic Ocean?
Mm, um,
It's the northern part, okay? It's there at the top. All right. What kinds of animals do we see in the Atlantic Circle, Arctic Circle?
mm,
What kind of animals do we see in there?
mm, I think I can see the polar bear.
Yes. Okay. We can see the polar bears there. All right, Emily. Unfortunately, I think our time is over. So you could discuss your the next page with your next teacher. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, I hate to say goodbye, but yeah, we kind of have to. But before we close our window, do you have questions, Emily?
No, I don't have question.
Okay, well, if you do not have questions, let's call it a day. Thank you so much for dropping by. Goodbye.
Bye.